The Las Vegas Aces, the team that revitalized the modern day super team in the WNBA. They went from dominating the league, winning back-to-back championships, literally having teams craft their roster in order to beat the Aces, is now the team that did not live up to expectations this year, and is a team that's one by one falling apart in front of our own very eyes.
What if I told you that the once indomitable team of the WNBA, the Las Vegas Aces, is now on the verge of falling apart? From the undisputed champions to a team on the brink of disaster, the Aces are in deep trouble. With free agency underway, things are looking grim. Key players are contemplating leaving, and the front office is in disarray. How is MVP A'ja Wilson handling this unexpected fall from grace? From championship celebrations to team collapse, the Aces situation is a whirlwind.
I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna try to be the best. I get y'all saying best player in the world. That's great, it looks great. But I wanna be the best person. I wanna be the best teammate, because that's how I get the best out of my team.
But as Vegas falters, another team is rising. The Indiana Fever, led by Caitlin Clark, is constructing an unshakable fortress. With a front office overhaul turning heads, could the tides of the WNBA be changing? Are you ready for this transformation? Let's dive in.
And recently, they have been in the news for all the wrong reasons.
Remember when the Las Vegas Aces were the crown jewel of the WNBA? Those days are fading fast. What was once an unstoppable dynasty is now faltering, and trouble is brewing in Sin City. Imagine this: the Aces just crashed out of the 2024 playoffs, humiliated by the New York Liberty. Their offense, once a powerhouse, collapsed when it mattered the most. Kelsey Plum and Chelsea Gray's shooting percentages plummeted in the playoffs, leaving fans stunned. It's as though they forgot how to play basketball overnight.
We have to get better. We have to really take a sharp look at ourselves, look ourselves in the mirror, see our shortcomings, and then, you got to make the moves necessary, whatever that means, to put the best product that we possibly can. It's not going to be the same group probably next year. It just won't. And I'm sad about that, because I really like that group. They were a pain in my ass, but I was a pain in their ass too.
Now, as the dust settles on this disastrous season, the real drama is starting to unfold. The Aces are sinking fast, with key players abandoning ship. Coach Becky Hammond didn't mince words: this team won't be the same in 2025. The front office is deserted, with general manager Natalie Williams and her assistants gone. It's an exodus, and everyone is scrambling for safety.
Despite back-to-back championships and a deep playoff run this season, the Las Vegas Aces have fired general manager Natalie Williams.
But here's the juicy part. Kelsey Plum, the Aces sharpshooter, is looking to leave. Rumor has it, the Golden State Valkyries are her next destination. The Aces slapped a core designation on her, but that's like trying to stop a flood with a paper towel. The Aces are offering Plum a supermax contract worth around $250,000 for the 2025 season, yet she's still got one foot out the door. Looks like money can't buy loyalty after all.
What is going on in their locker room? Like, this Aces team is falling apart. This is not a coach that I would want to play for.
So, how did the mighty Aces fall so quickly? Could their own success have been their downfall? Think about it: back-to-back championships, a roster full of all-stars, and the glitzy allure of Las Vegas. But while they basked in their glory, the rest of the league caught up. Now, the Aces are learning the hard way that pride comes before the fall. The real question is, can they recover, or is this the end of an era in Sin City? Who knew that being on top could lead to such a spectacular fall?
We talked a lot of smack last year. I'm sure they heard it, and they got to smack us this year. So, for us, we will have a long off season.
You know what they say about an empty throne: everyone wants to sit on it. But in the case of the Las Vegas Aces, it's more like a sinking ship with no captain. The front office is more like a ghost town, and guess who might be the last one standing? Coach Becky Hammond herself. But can one woman steer this ship through stormy waters? Free agency is here, but who's making the decisions? Still no GM in sight. Let's talk about Becky Hammond. She's eyeing a Cheryl Reeve-style takeover, the ultimate power move, where she's both coach and GM. But is it too much, too soon? Hammond is already hinting at major shakeups, saying the team needs to look at their shortcomings and make necessary moves. Looks like she's ready to make some serious changes.
WNBA's newest franchise, the Golden State Valkyries, have named Natalie Nakase as their first ever head coach.
But here's the twist. While Hammond may be gearing up for a one-woman show, her former assistants are jumping ship. Natalie Nakase is making waves with the Golden State Valkyries as the first Asian American head coach in WNBA history, and Tyler Marsh is now navigating the choppy waters of the Chicago Sky. Gone from smooth sailing in Vegas, he now faces a locker room filled with drama and tension. Marsh has his work cut out for him.
Chicago, as we just said, has Tyler Marsh as their head coach. He was also an assistant for the Las Vegas Aces, so that's caused a lot of back and forth because they've had two now assistant coaches leave. Natalie Nakase is now the head coach of the Valkyries.
Back in Sin City, the Aces are sinking deeper. There's still no credible replacement for Hammond's former assistants. It's like watching a ship with only the captain left. You know it's headed for an iceberg, but you can't look away. The rest of the league is circling like sharks, sensing blood in the water. This leadership void isn't just a small crack in the hull, it's a gaping hole that could sink the Aces dynasty faster than you can say back-to-back champions. They're scrambling to bail out their sinking empire, but it's flooding faster than they can keep up. Will Hammond manage to plug the holes and keep the ship afloat, or will the Aces' reign sink to the bottom of the sea?
We don't have it every year. It's not the way this works. You don't get to flip a switch. It's the beautiful thing about sports, actually. The work and the commitment and the buy-in and the play hard and the want to and the will always show up in the end.
Let's talk about Kelsey Plum, the Aces' sharpshooting guard who's been lighting up the scoreboard. But during the playoffs, her performance was as cold as a Vegas winter. In a crucial game against the Liberty, Plum managed only 6 points on 2 of 9 shooting. That's a far cry from her regular season average of 17.8 points per game, 4.2 assists, and a sweet 36.8% from beyond the arc. With Plum hitting free agency, you can bet there are plenty of teams eager to sign her away from Sin City.
Paige reminds me a lot of you. Like, you say it's not really about me. And she knows how her privilege has gotten her to that point. And also, like, she's good at basketball, but, like, she understands her privilege. It's like what pushes her over the top, in a sense. It reminds me a lot of you. And I mean, that's a compliment.
But the drama doesn't end there. Veteran forward Lakeisha Clark, a steady presence for the Aces, is feeling the emotional toll of this chaos. When assistant coach Tyler Marsh left for Chicago, Clark needed a day to mourn. It wasn't just about losing a coach, it was about losing a mentor and friend who had been pivotal to the team's success. And what about Tiffany Hayes? The seasoned guard who came out of retirement to chase a championship ring with the Aces is now an unrestricted free agent. Her future with the team is uncertain. Will she stay for another shot at glory, or is it back to retirement?
It seemed like A'ja Wilson was diminishing the accomplishments of players like Kelsey Plum and Paige Bueckers and someone who is her teammate. It felt like she was giving Kelsey Plum a backhanded compliment. And a lot of people, Aces fans, WNBA fans, Kelsey Plum fans, across the board really had a problem with this video, and it really left a sour taste in their mouth.
Remember Kate Martin, the Aces' bright young prospect? Well, she's now part of the Golden State Valkyries. The expansion draft snatched her up, and within 48 hours of being drafted, Martin was on a plane to San Francisco, eager to start her new chapter.
Moving on to the Las Vegas Aces, another big storyline in this draft was that Kate Martin was drafted to the Golden State Valkyries.
Here's the real kicker, Becky Hammond's not-so-subtle jabs at her own players. She's been calling them out for caring more about their Instagram followers than their free throw percentages. It's like she's trying to coach a team of influencers instead of basketball players. Meanwhile, the Aces are scrambling to keep their roster from completely falling apart. It's like a high-stakes game of musical chairs, and when the music stops, they might not have enough players left to field a starting five. The Aces locker room has gone from championship champagne to sour grapes faster than you can blink.
The whole league has been pissed off for the last 8 months, and my players are in commercials and this and that and being freaking celebrities, and you get distracted.
You think the Aces' on-court drama is messy? Buckle up, because their off-court antics make their game day issues look like child's play. This isn't just drama, it's a full-blown Las Vegas spectacle threatening to overshadow their performance. Forget the glitz and glamour. The Aces are serving up a different kind of entertainment, and it's not the kind you'd want to bet on. The Aces aren't just losing games, they're hemorrhaging public goodwill at an alarming rate. It's as if they've decided to chase scandals instead of championships.
So the WNBA suspends Becky Hammond for 2 games. They lose a first-round pick in 2025 because Derek Hamby says she was bullied for being pregnant, body shamed, just really harassed because of her pregnancy.
First up, the Dika Hammy situation, pregnancy discrimination in 2024. Hammy is suing the Aces and the WNBA, claiming mistreatment for daring to start a family. The Aces and the league are trying to sweep this away, but their defense looks shakier than a rookie in her first playoff game. But wait, there's more. Remember Becky Hammond, the coaching savior? Well, she got benched after making some not-so-smart comments about Hammy's pregnancy. The league called it a workplace violation. The Aces? They're disappointed. Yeah, I bet they are.
But we would like to offer each of you, individually, a sponsorship for this year in the amount of $100,000. The offer is really simple. We want you to just play. We want you to keep repping Las Vegas.
Here's where it gets wild. The league is investigating whispers of under-the-table benefits. We're talking potential salary cap violations, improper player perks, the whole 9 yards. If these allegations stick, the Aces could face fines, lost draft picks, or worse.
On top of that, the league is investigating the Aces for potential salary cap circumvention. Back in May, the Las Vegas Convention Authority gave each of the players an additional $100,000 to basically be active in the community.
Remember when A'ja Wilson's biggest problem was deciding which championship ring to wear? Now, she's watching her team's reputation crumble faster than a house of cards in a Vegas windstorm. She's gone from basking in victory to playing damage control, all while trying to keep the team's on-court performance from tanking. Winning might cure a lot, but even a championship parade can't wash away this much drama. The Aces are learning the hard way that what happens in Vegas doesn't always stay in Vegas, especially when you're losing on and off the court.
Everybody can be good here and there, but who can be great every single game, every possession? And that's what I'm striving for.
In that heated exchange with a referee during the Aces playoff game against the Storm to courtside tears, Wilson's journey has taken a surprising turn. Once the golden girl of the WNBA, her recent behavior has fans and analysts wondering if the pressure of a crumbling dynasty is getting to her. Remember when Wilson was all smiles and humble after winning MVP? Those days seem like a distant memory. Now, she's more likely to be seen crying on the sidelines or getting into heated exchanges with refs. Her social media presence has shifted too, with passive-aggressive comments replacing the inspirational posts. One fan tweeted, "What happened to our humble MVP?" Wilson's response: a simple eye-roll emoji.
Come on, Andy, you know the question for that. You know the answer for that.
But here's the thing, when you're the face of a franchise, every eye-roll, every scowl, every frustrated outburst is magnified. And lately, Wilson has been serving up plenty of them. It's not just about her game anymore, it's about her attitude, and frankly, it's not a good look. Even within the Aces camp, opinions are divided. Some teammates praise her competitive spirit, while others are less than thrilled with her recent on-court outbursts. As one anonymous player put it, it's like walking on eggshells sometimes. You never know what's going to set her off.
I always knew A'ja Wilson was overrated. Eric, let me see your resume. That's what I thought.
Coach Becky Hammond, usually Asia's biggest cheerleader, has been uncharacteristically quiet about her star players' antics. But reading between the lines of her recent comments, there's a clear concern about the team's focus and dynamics. When asked about Wilson's behavior, Hammond simply said, "We're all working on being better versions of ourselves." The reality? Wilson's attitude isn't just a personal issue, it's become a symbol of the Aces' larger problems. As the team faces controversy after controversy, her demeanor seems to mirror the franchise's fall from grace. It's like watching a real-time metaphor for the Aces' implosion, played out in eye rolls and technical fouls.
What little girl wants to grow up and play in a league where you're targeted like that? How do you sit here and profess and demand that everyone take women's sports seriously when you can't even take it seriously enough to not act like a junior high queen on the court? It's stupid. That's so dumb. It looks like a soap opera.
You've got to wonder, is this the real Wilson coming out under pressure, or is she cracking under the weight of trying to hold together a team that's falling apart? Either way, it's clear the crown is getting heavy. Caitlin Clark's arrival in Indiana has set the WNBA on fire. This basketball phenom isn't just changing the game, she's rewriting it. The Indiana Fever, once the league's punching bag, are now the team everyone is watching. It all starts at the top with Kelly Koff, back as team president. She's the mastermind behind the Fever's golden era, which includes a 2012 championship and 13 playoff appearances in 17 seasons.
There's something about the way she plays the game, her passing, her shooting, that people really identify with. So I really feel like we're poised and we're set up for a great, successful next era of Fever basketball.
The Fever didn't stop there. They brought in Amber Cox as GM, a woman with connections that would make a Hollywood agent jealous. They also pulled off the ultimate homecoming by bringing back Stephanie White as head coach. White's not just any coach, she's Indiana basketball royalty, having played for Purdue and the Fever before leading the team to the WNBA Finals in 2015.
The future is so bright, and our ultimate goal is to hang another banner in the field house. And our ultimate goal is to come back in here after we win that championship and celebrate again like we did in 2012.
Caitlin Clark's debut season was nothing short of sensational. She shattered 62 records, injected unparalleled energy into the team, and drew league-wide attention. But beyond the stats, her leadership invigorated the Fever's culture. With a rising core that includes standout players like Aaliyah Boston and Lexi Hull, as well as seasoned guard Kelsey Mitchell, the Fever's prospects are glowing. The Fever's commitment to nurturing a strong, supportive environment is paying off. Their approach centers on long-term growth and fostering team chemistry, which is attracting potential free agents seeking stability and a clear vision. Word within the WNBA is that Indiana's revitalized front office and Clark's magnetic draw are making the Fever a desirable destination for top talent.
We are at a point where we have an attractive group, we have a great organization, we can attract a few free agents to come here and bolster and keep us on the path that we're on.
The Fever aren't just collecting talent, they're building a culture focused on teamwork, player development, and a winning mindset. It's like night and day compared to teams bogged down by drama. The Fever's rebuild isn't just about winning games, it's about changing the landscape of the WNBA. They're proving that with the right leadership, the right culture, and a generational talent like Clark, you can turn a franchise around faster than you can say dynasty. Get ready, WNBA, the Fever are coming, and they're bringing the heat.
Honestly, it makes me smile in return. Like, for me, I'm just myself. That's what I try to be. I try to just be a great role model for them, and I think it speaks to how I was raised as a kid is, you know, I've loved every second of playing sports, but also my parents always preach there's so much more to life than just sports.
The WNBA landscape is shifting dramatically. The once dominant Aces are in free fall, while the Indiana Fever are rising from the ashes. At the center of this turnaround is Caitlin Clark, a game-changer focused on elevating her team. As the Aces learn humility the hard way, the Fever showcase what happens when talent meets smart leadership. This shakeup could redefine the league's power dynamics for years to come. In the WNBA, today's underdogs can become tomorrow's champions. It's a feverish new era indeed. Are you excited? Let us know in the comments, like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss out. Click the video on the screen, and we'll see you in the next one.